Hang Seng is quite flat right now.
Job growth in the private sector was 235,000. The job market once again showing unexpected strength if you look at it.
Global money is looking for better valuation multiples.
Fiat has a $2 billion target in terms of revenues in the near term, and they're looking to achieve that by increasing their focus in the passenger car segment as well as in the off-highway tires.
The first trades are with us very, very flat as far as the index is concerned.
India has outperformed everybody else is an indication of the incredible growth that you're witnessing in India now, which will continue in this new year.
I think post-festive, which is post-October, there has been a slowdown in the market. You have seen a softer November.
It's definitely an emphasis from the Fed that they want to keep policy rates high and they don't want to see undue easing of financial conditions.
As per the estimates of the IMF, South Asia contributes nearly 15% to global growth, led by India and Bangladesh.
Down 50 points, 17,941.
Bank will write to exchanges to classify government holding post the divestment as public shareholding.
Nifty is at the day's low. It's a 176-point cut out there.
Well, worse for the last. That was the last day of the week, the first week of this new year. That was a day so far. Hello and welcome to a fresh new edition of Closing Bell, live from the CNBC-TV18 Motilal Oswal studios. I'm Prashant. With me, my colleagues Reema and Nigel joining in from the newsroom. Guys, hi. Good afternoon. 165 points lower is what we have on the Nifty. And this does, this is a 1% knock. It seems it is a substantial cut, given, of course, the magnitude of market moves we've been having. Could things change in the last 60 minutes is the question. Now, just a few things before we kind of move forward. Today's low is interesting because we almost went and hit the lowest point of the 26th of December. You know, the market hit a low on the 26th of December, which is 17,774. And then we saw a 500-point move. That entire 500-point move has been given up, right? So that is point number one, which I just wanted to kind of put up. What is doing poorly? Pretty much everything. You got IT, which is down, full 2%. So any illusions of a rally going into the earnings season were completely chucked out. Banks are doing poorly, both private and public. And we'll talk more about that space. NBFCs are taking a bit of a knock, and metals as a space is taking a bit of a knock as well. We were talking about how the dollar rose pretty impressively against a range of currencies overnight. Mid-cap and small-cap indices are down about 1% as well. And as a result, declines to advances ratio is almost 2.5 is to 1. The level, as I said, to kind of hold, and I think one hopes it does hold, is 17,774. We got to within 20-25 points of that, and then the market kind of bounced a little bit. On the Bank Nifty, the corresponding level is 41,569, which is the low on the 26th of December, the same as the Nifty. So those are broad levels, very near-term kind of levels that you'd want to watch out for. If these go and could go conclusively on a closing basis, etc., then you look at perhaps deeper pullbacks from here out, which we can talk about once that materializes. Reema, hi.
Hi, so some more internals. Today, the mid-caps are not outperforming. Over the last couple of days, the mid-caps were outperforming. But today, the fall in the mid-caps is similar, in line with the large caps. But week to date, the mid-cap index is down 0.3%, while the frontline indices, the Nifty, is down 1.5%. So that gives you an indication of the outperformance up until now for the mid-cap space, but not today. The dollar index has further risen. In the morning, it was at levels of 105.1. Now, as we speak, it's 105.3. And by the way, European markets are not declining. They're either flat, like the CAC is, they're marginally down, like the DAX, but the FTSE, on the other hand, is up 0.3%. So flat for the European markets, and the Dow futures is currently also flat, just up close to about 25 points. So the fall that we're seeing seems to be very much internal. Nigel, what have you picked up?
Well, you know, the problem is today we went ahead and we broke that 100 DMA. That's around 17,900 odd from where we bounced off yesterday. And we've broken that and we're trading up below that level for majority of the trading session. So that's the first point in there. The call writing continues very, very aggressively. Take a look at the open risk build-up we have. 18,000 call, very, very active today. 17,900 call as well. Both those two strikes is a massive surge in terms of open interest on both those two strikes. Now, if we can get a bounce, then those calls will be forced to cover, that I've got written. The crucial level that we're looking at on a closing basis is the December low that you just mentioned. That's around 17,775 odd. So keep an eye out on that mark. You don't want to breach that level intraday or even on a closing basis. But the sense that I'm getting is just in the last 30-40 minutes or so, the 17,800 put, the premium's around 100 rupees. Unlikely to be buying at that particular strike. My guess is that there is more amount of writing out there. Even the 18,000 put, the premium now is around 225 rupees odd. So there is a sense of writing out there. We're bounced off for the day's low. And maybe, in fact, in the final hour of trade, hopefully for the bulls perspective, you defend those lows and maybe you end off those levels. We saw that happening yesterday. No guarantee it happens today because, it's not the weekly expiry and also we're getting to a weekend. But let's see how this plays out. Closing basis, that December low will have to get protected to give the bulls a fighting chance.
Okay, some important updates coming about the tech layoffs in India. Remember yesterday we told you that Amazon globally is going to be laying off 18,000 employees. This is as a part of the company bringing down its overall workforce. In November, the company had said the global workforce will come down by 10,000. They increased the target to 18,000. And as a part of that, they've indicated that in India, Amazon will lay off nearly 1% of its workforce. So not good news, clearly. Let's tell our viewers what we've lined up on the show today. Q3 earnings season kickstarts with big IT names next week. A roundup of what to watch out for coming up on the show. We'll track the market technicals, discuss top trading ideas with Rahul Mohinder of ViraTechIndia.com. We'll discuss top portfolio bets with our alpha managers, Charandeep Singh and Varun Daga of Girik Capital.
Well, how should you position yourself in the last hour of trade? Rahul Mohinder of ViraTechIndia.com is joining us with some closing